Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be answering some of your questions. First things first, if you are unfamiliar with who I am, hi, my name is Kristin and I run this channel here, Beauty Meow. It's a channel that we talk primarily about fragrance reviews, discussions, and the like. So if you like that type of content, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you can be notified when I have new videos. So I'm going to be answering some questions and comments. I love to do this. I love to go in depth and kind of discuss a lot of comments that are left on my channel. Sometimes I'll briefly respond to them, sometimes I will do a more at length response. And there's some questions I think are interesting that I wanted to kind of talk about. If you didn't see my last discussion video like this, I actually answered some of the most common questions that I get on my channel just in general, and that video was very well received. I was very happy and uplifted by that. So thank you everyone who watched that video, commented that video. It really meant a lot to me. But if you're wondering a little bit about how I decide I don't know why. I've had like 5 cups of coffee today. I think that's why I can't talk. If you're wondering how I decide what to wear, if this is the correct way to store my fragrances, and purchasing fragrances, and how I budget this, that video talks about all of that. So definitely check it out. So the first question I'm going to get into, I've seen it's a common occurrence on my channel, not from one person, from a variety of different people, and everybody that has commented has always been very respectful, very wonderful. But I wanted to throw this out there, and I want to say 100%, please don't ever feel bad about leaving any type of comment. The reason why I say this is because sometimes I review fragrances that are incredibly expensive or very polarizing. There are some houses that I just love, they're my favorites. And I have a very interesting way I like to smell. And so those types of reviews, those types of fragrances, expensive fragrances, things like that, they're not going to be for everybody. So if you're watching my channel and I'm reviewing something and I'm giving it praise because I love it, I like my reviews to be a place where people can come as a resource and not just listen to me, but to maybe read the comments of other people and see what other people have to decide, other conflicting, ideas. Just because I like something and somebody else doesn't mean that I'm right or they're wrong and I'm right. I think it's really good to have a nice variety of reviews, positive and negative. And I think if you're coming to my channel and if you're trusting me, which thank you guys so much, I really appreciate it, I don't want anyone to think that I will be offended if you leave a conflicting comment or review underneath my channel. Absolutely not. Please feel free to do that. Also feel free to hold me accountable if you think that I particularly love something and, maybe you want to let people who are coming by know that, I tend to like this a lot. Maybe that will help somebody if they're coming to this review, to this channel for the first time and they're trying to find a review on this fragrance. Don't ever feel like ashamed or like you're hurting my feelings. You're not. Also, if I'm reviewing something that's very expensive, don't feel bad about saying, please don't review that kind of stuff. I love to talk to you guys about fragrance. I love to bring you guys the content that I want to see on YouTube, but I also love to have a conversation with you guys. And to be perfectly honest, I hate one-sided conversations. If you think that I'm bringing you guys the type of content you guys don't want to see, let me know. Let's have this conversation together. So don't at all feel like you're hurting my feelings or that you're not allowed to speak your mind, even if you think it's completely different than me, or maybe it's completely conflicting with my ideas on fragrance. That is what my comments section is for. I don't delete comments unless they are crazy. I've only really deleted 2 or 3. So don't ever feel bad about leaving any type of comment on my channel, especially if it's in regards to fragrance, because this is supposed to be a discussion. So to anyone who's left those types of contents, I love it. Thank you. And if you've ever commented on my channel and you said, oh my gosh, I don't want to offend you, I'm so sorry, you're not offending me. Actually, I love seeing that type of comment on my channel just as much as I love seeing comments supporting my ideas too. I love the conversation of fragrance, and this is not a one-sided conversation. We're having it together, so definitely feel free and open to leave whatever you want in the comment section. I mean, I've read pretty much everything. So if you want to have a discussion about fragrance and you don't agree with what I say, don't feel bad about saying it. And if you don't like the way the conversation is going, definitely let me know what you guys think. I'm here to share my love of fragrance with you guys, but like I said, it's not a one-sided conversation, so feel free to let me know. I did respond to this comment, but I did want to respond to you guys in case you didn't know about it. And Virginia Malone, if I mispronounced your name, I'm very sorry. They responded or commented on my video advice and hacks for fragrance longevity performance. I forget the name of the video. And it's a very, very great video. How do you get perfume from a spray bottle into a travel atomizer? Well, that's easy. I'm going to use this empty bottle here, empty bottle right here. And there are a few ways to do it. Easiest way is to have a tiny funnel. Now, some travel atomizers, like if you buy like a bunch from Amazon, say you buy like some of the really pretty metal ones, and you know, you get like 10 for $18, they'll sometimes come with 1 or 2 plastic atomizers. Not plastic atomizers, plastic funnels. What you do is you put the funnel in the little travel atomizer when you take the cap off, and then you spray real close, and then the juice goes in the hole in the vial. There we go. I can not say words. If this is your first time tuning in, that is not uncommon for me to say the wrong things. Now, the other way you can do it, and I'm going to just use this again. I'm just grabbing what's near me. Pretend this is the travel atomizer. This is the open, lid. You unscrew it to put the juice in. The other thing you can do, very common, is to spray like this. I like to kind of go like that. There's nothing in here. It's empty, which is very sad. And then just spray. You will make a mess, even if you're really good at it. Some of it will go away. You will probably waste a tiny bit of it, not too much. I do not like doing it that way. I prefer to use funnels, but if I absolutely have to, I'll do that. So that's the way. Something else that I've done when I didn't have a funnel is I have like hundreds, I feel like, of those like disposable pipettes. I'll cut one of those and then I'll use that, like the end, and some type of funnel. Or if you've got like some sturdy parchment paper or wax paper, you can make like a little, makeshift funnel. Funnels are the best way to go. They're the best way to not make a huge mess and not to waste any fragrance, but you can do it without a funnel. That's how you do it. I'm pretty sure everybody knows it, but there are some people that don't know, and I think that would be good. You can buy small mini funnels on, Amazon, but I would say if you're going to be decanting your fragrances and you're going to be purchasing some, like little travel vials, travel atomizers, I would say look for one that comes with a funnel or 2 anyway, because you can reuse them. You want to be careful that you wash and dry the funnels in between fragrances if you're doing different fragrances. So say you have, like a fresh fragrance, and then you have an oud fragrance, then you have a gourmand. You don't want to use the same funnel unless you clean and dry them, because it can kind of cross-contaminate, and then the smell will smell like, muddy or different because it'll have remnants of the other fragrances in there. But you can get funnels on Amazon, but if you're going to be investing and you want to decant a few fragrances and you need to buy the atomizers anyway, just look for one of the sets that comes with funnels. On the same video, I had somebody say, Brina 1971 comments, amazing deal on the philosophy items. If you don't mind, can you share where you acquire the sets at such an amazing discount? Thank you. I believe she's talking about when I say you can get philosophy sets for like 25 to 50% off. The best time to look for sets on sale, like gift sets on sale, if you really want a nice selection, is like right after Mother's Day and right after Christmas, because there's a lot of themed gift sets that go out, and the stores that will discount them, and sometimes Macy's will discount them. Ulta definitely does. Also, I know Ulta does because that was my job. That was my job, is to put those on those stupid editors and like properly label them in the right area of the store. You want to wait for when there is a need to get rid of things like that. So if it's just the regular sets, like hey, buy this big one with this little one, there's not a likelihood that those will be discounted. But Christmas sets and Mother's Day sets, where that packaging is like, says like Christmas 2021 or like Mother's Day 2020, there's only a certain amount of time where they can sell those. So they will either, some places will send them back to the company. I've kind of talked about gray market a little bit, but a lot of stores will discount them, and that's the best time to look if you want to buy them, say at like Macy's or certain department stores, not all, or Ulta. Ulta's a great place to go for discounts on sets like that. I think even without my discount, I got 1 or 2 sets that were like 50% off. It was a big bottle, a small bottle, and like a giant, like one of the big like body washes, which was on their own was more than everything else. So that's the best time to look for those sets. So you have to be patient. The other thing too is like if you're going to purchase gray market, so say you're going to go to Marshall's or Ross or TJ Maxx, generally if those sets are sent back to the manufacturer to then be sold to gray market sites, it'll take about 3 to 5 months for them to get to the TJ Maxx stores. And I'm just saying TJ Maxx because it's gray market stores, or you know, certain gray market websites. So I would say look about 3 to 4 months after the holidays. So you know, March is really good, or like August, September is really good if you're looking for Mother's Day stuff or like the Christmas themed packaging. It's usually just the packaging that's themed. Usually 3 to 4 months after those holidays in places like TJ Maxx or Marshall. Sometimes you can find really good deals. Another thing that these gray market sites will do, specifically the stores, is they will hold on to some of these sets until Mother's Day or until Father's Day. So sometimes, you know, you won't be getting them as cheap because they're not going to be like discounted at these stores, but you'll be able to find these sets for what they would be marketed or charged at gray market stores. So say if a $100 set's $60, you're going to get it for $60 because they're going to hold on to it. But then a month after Mother's Day at these gray market sites, if there's anything left, then they're on clearance. And I have found like $100 bottles of perfume for like $3 there. So first you have to kind of understand how the discount works, how it kind of goes through the processing of store like marketing for special events to then discounted in stores, then sent to gray market, and then how gray market markets, and then how gray market discounts it. It's usually patience and timing, but the best way to do it is to just kind of, you know, like maybe a few weeks after Christmas or a few weeks after Mother's Day, go to Ulta, go to like a department store, and there should probably be some good sales on some of those sets. Specifically, I see a lot of Philosophy sets on sale because they go ham for the holidays. I was so sick during holidays of seeing Philosophy sets. I mean, etageres and etageres of just Philosophy. They go ham. And so you're probably, if you're looking for Philosophy, you'll probably find it. So this is on an older video review of an Hermes fragrance, and Liliana Angelo comments, do you ever have problems with this fragrance turning sour and almost moldy on the skin? I'm very close to sell it because I cannot stand 2/3 of the time it lasts on me. I really want to love this one so bad. And I remember a year or two ago, believe it or not, I remember a lot of comments people leave. Somebody was saying that I'm reviewing so many Jo Malones, but you know, like how could I like them when, you know, I say they turn sour? There's like at least a third of Jo Malone fragrances that turn sour on my skin. Kind of like, you know, Ileana says, you know, it's smelling sour and moldy. I don't know exactly what that would be, which is why I always tell people, please try things on your skin, because body chemistry, pH, formulas, ingredients, compositions. I mean, just because 8 different fragrances have bergamot in it doesn't mean that that's the same bergamot from the same factory, from the same compounder, from the same place. You know, you don't know, and then you might see something that says gardenia, or you don't know, or it might have a specific accord that's made up of different ingredients to come together to create this smell. Like, you know, just because a fragrance has like bergamot and vetiver and cedarwood doesn't mean that they are all sourced from the same place. So your body chemistry, your pH, you know, the formula, however fragrances work, they can kind of turn on your skin. And there's something about Jo Malone that smells sour, and not like that really nice kind of like soury wood note. that you can get are like a sour fruit that you can get from like apple or raspberry or sometimes currant that's actually really nice. It's like a sour note rather than it smells bad. And the one fragrance I can say the most from Jo Malone, which I love on everybody else but me, and I keep trying to love it, I keep trying it on my skin and it keeps turning rancid on me. It's like a scrubber, like it's just gross, is grapefruit. I love grapefruit in fragrances, and I love Jo Malone's grapefruit. It smells fantastic on everybody but me. It does not work on my skin. It turns so sour. It almost smells like I poured sour milk on me. Like, it is so bad. It's so bad. And I tried it, and I tried it years ago. I feel like I try it a few times a year. Like, for somehow I'll find, like, you know, I'll get sent like a little sample of it or like a little mini bottle of it, and I'll spray it and I'll be like, maybe it'll work this time. No. So the best thing I can say for you, if it doesn't work on your skin, there might be something in the composition that is just not working with your body chemistry. I don't get that issue with that fragrance. I think it's Jour de Hermès Absolu. I am so bad at remembering exactly how to say those words in sequential order. I love that fragrance. I do not get that on my skin, but I have had that issue specifically with Jo Malone. And sometimes some salty notes too, and I think I had that problem with the Electimus Black Caviar. I did a first impression of that. I'll link it below if you guys want to watch it. At first, I liked it, although it reminded me of an Abercrombie & Fitch, and it took somebody else's comment on Fragrantica to kind of spark the memory of that smelling like that, and I was like, oof, I remember those smells. But the Black Caviar note, for some reason on my skin, like at first it was kind of salty, briny, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I like the way this smells. I like the way this is going. It's interesting, but I don't know, like it smells, it's an interesting take on a niche fragrance, on something that's very wearable. So, you know, like it was a good quality scent, but on my skin, sometimes salty notes, not all, but some salty notes, and Black Caviar specifically, smelled like sweat, and not like, oh, you know, like a hot sweat, like, hey, yeah, girl. It smelled like I was outside, like shoveling trash for like a few hours. Like if I go outside and I do like, you know, a few hours of yard work and I come back inside and I smell ripe, like not indolic, just not nice. It was going to that point. And so I get that thing with salty notes too, so that's why it's so important to try things on your skin. So I'm sorry that that one fragrance doesn't work for you. It is one of my favorites. It is really beautiful, but that is not an uncommon issue for certain scents. You know, it has to, I think it might have to do not so much with a note, but just with where the note came from, like maybe an accord or something that was mixed together. I don't know exactly. If somebody else has better experience with why certain smells can turn like sour bad, I would love to know. Educate me below. But I do have that problem with other fragrances, and like I said with Jo Malone, it's like a third of the fragrances I can't wear just because there's something in their formula with their fragrances, and it's got to be something common that they mix, like maybe like a top note or some type of you know, like base note or something in a lot of these like fresher citrus scents that they make that just turns super sour on my skin. So maybe there's something in that fragrance that does the same thing to you. Always, guys, thank you so much for putting up with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.